me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the most entertaining podcast network in the land, baby. I know if you were listening and watching, you were very entertained by the guys from Unapologetic Sports. You got Matty Ice to jump in. You had HOJ jump in. And we gave you nothing but hot fire. We spit the hot fire. KG, your five top podcasts. Sideline junkies, sideline junkies, sideline junkies, sideline junkies, sideline junkies. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is what we do. We are fools and we act up and we act a fool. And this is how it is. So if you don't like it, it's okay. And you're not worthy to be entertained by us. And it's okay. It's not what you like. But I was reading some comments today from my guy Jeff Walker. Shout out to Jeff Walker for doing something crazy today. He took a Zen. I don't know what that is. That's above my pay grade. And he took like I guess a 9, and he ended up throwing up in the thing. But he sent me a thing after that because I was like, "Yo, it's only you. Only you would do something crazy because you have the athletic arrogance of a cornerback." I tell him this all the time. Like, you have the athletic arrogance of a corner. Like, you may have never played corner in your life, but you have its athletic arrogance. You just believe you can do anything. And when he said
athletic arrogance of a corner, I don't think I've ever heard that before.
I probably haven't said it to you because we don't really talk about DBs like that. But yes, there's the athletic arrogance of corners where we talk about it because we talk about when the ball's 10 yards down the field past the receiver and they doing this and they strapping people in, and that's the athletic arrogance of a corner. You know what I'm saying? You can get beat for a touchdown and turn around the next play and knock the ball down, and you doing all the stuff. Yo, that's what corners do. But when I was thinking about today and starting the show, I was like, dang. Every now and then, me and KG, we just get on here, we do something, we start talking, and like every now and then I just don't greet him in a certain way. So I was like, yo, I gotta check on my boy. So KG,
What?
Oh, I didn't tell y'all this. I'm the Midnight Rider. That's the big guy, KG. He's the host of the show. So I'm going to let him take it away now because I've done all the silliness and the comments that I got planned for the day. So let's go.
Welcome to the Tuesday Night Flight, presented to you by the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. My hair is not cooperating tonight, so don't expect it to. As he said, as he said, he's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. We got a really, really heavy show for you tonight. Man, the RIP section is the A block. And when I say the A block, it's the A block. Like, we got to go through it. And then after we go through it, we got to reset. We definitely going to reset.
Yeah.
So, I'm giving you the heads up on that now. After that, I need to get to the Midnight Rider about his girl, Olivia Miles. We need to talk some NHL playoffs. We need to talk some NBA playoffs. And maybe if we got enough time, we'll get into some MLB news. Without further ado,
looks like Maddie's confused not cooperating. So let's go ahead and go RIP and then get to Maddie once he comes up on the screen.
Gotcha. Our first RIP of the night is Craig Morton. For those of you that are young, uninitiated, Craig Morton was a quarterback in the NFL. Probably, if memory serves me correctly, like I was alive, I think you can consider him and Roger Staubach the first true quarterback controversy. And I think that I don't know, because you still got Unitas and
Sonny.
Moore was a contract. No, that was after that. Sonny
Really?
and Billy was after that.
Okay.
But at one point in time, they were alternating. Him and Roger Staubach were alternating plays. But he wasn't no slouch. But I will say he was the first quarterback to lead 2 franchises to Super Bowls. He led the Orange Crush Broncos to a Super Bowl where they lost in 77 to the Dallas Cowboys. He also played for the New York Giants for 3 seasons. College Football Hall of Famer. Denver Broncos Ring of Fame. I'm surprised he's not in the Ring of Fame down in Dallas. Won Super Bowl 6, NFL Comeback Player of the Year in 77, as well as the Offensive Player of the Year. 83 years old, first round, 5th overall pick in 1965. Midnight Rider, Craig Morton.
Yeah, man. I just remember seeing him. I remember seeing the Southern. I remember seeing it in Dallas. I remember seeing it in Denver. So it was kind of predestined. But we talked about iconic shows last week, and one of the iconic shows, NFL Films always brought you something and gave you that information, breaking down the Super Bowls and showing you the information of this guy, both in Dallas and in Denver. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Go ahead, KG.
Joined by one of the hosts of Drive Time, seen right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, Monday at 5. It's the talented, the brilliant, the NHL hockey extraordinaire himself, Matty Ice.
That's a lot.
Hold on. You're not going to sing Smooth Operator? You're going to let Lee Ice?
No. Yeah, there's no singing.
That's you, Matt.
Oh, yeah. KG. Yeah, that's why he's got to bring me in.
Operator?
No need to ask. He's a smooth operator.
Okay.
Smooth operator.
I think
Matty Ice.
There you go. Guess that's my official intro song now.
Hey, you gotta be. First of all, how you feeling?
We're doing well.
Let's ask the most important question. How did Teddy love the Cleveland game?
I think it's 5 months. So, he didn't really watch too much of it. We get occasional glimpses out of him, but he did well. I mean, there was no breakdowns or anything like that. So he made it through the game, did take a little nap somewhere between. I think with it being the Mother's Day game, it was a decent crowd, but not a super loud crowd. So it's a good intro, because, we'll go to some Friday night games where they'll do the fireworks and stuff like that. But we got him the little headphones and stuff for when we get to that. So we'll see. But it's a good little intro for him. So we had fun, but the team didn't do so well, but that's okay.
Cool.
Before we move on, Matty, you got any thoughts on Craig Morton?
I barely remember him, because I was born in 72. So, I remember seeing the highlights of him. I think more of the Denver days than anything. So, there's a little bit of memories in the back of my head of him playing, but nothing that stands out to my mind of him, other than just another one of these players that in our age group where you're like, oh yeah, It seems like we have more and more of these, unfortunately.
True indeed. Now this one hits a little closer to home by Matty. You being a Guards fan, and you always at Guardians games, it's like a second home. Public dress announcer of the Cleveland Guardians. Tell me if I'm saying it right. Bob Tayak.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, he passed away today, and it was weird because we went to the home opener this year, and you go into the stadium and there's certain things that you're expecting, and then you hear just a completely different voice, and you're like, hey, wait a second, that's not our guy, so like what's going on here? And then we got a few things where he wasn't doing well health-wise. They were hoping that he's going to somehow come back, but obviously, unfortunately, that did not happen. So he's been basically the voice of Progressive Field since Progressive Field was there. So it's just one of those iconic ones. You remember, the Yankees guy, Derek Jeter, and Bob Scott, how he pronounced Jose Ramirez. He would always perfectly roll the R when Jose comes up to bat. Just one of the voices. He's the voice of Progressive Field. So it's a tough one for Cleveland fans. I saw a tweet from one of the local radio guys here where a family member said he was in the hospital yesterday watching the Guards game on his phone and watching the Cavs on the TV, and then unfortunately just passed away. So he also will not get to see the Cleveland Indians / Guardians win a World Series, unfortunately. So it's a tough one. The people that they've had this year have been okay, but it's hard to replace a voice like that everyone knows. It's just like with John Adams and the drum. It's part of Cleveland baseball. You had Bob and you had John, and now they're both gone, unfortunately.
What a guy like that.
You,
go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, man. All right.
No, it's you.
No, I was going to ask Maddie. I was, being in the stadium and actually being able to feel it, and hearing you say that, that coming into the season and it's different, man. It's just like, as a fan base, especially inside the stadium, how do you move on from something like that? I've never experienced it. That's what I'm asking.
I don't know how they'll do. I mean, they've had different people do it this year. I imagine that will probably be what they'll do the rest of the year. I don't, eventually, but eventually they're gonna. You have to do what you have to do, right? You got to move on and you got to hire a new person. But I saw a couple different people post this on the Guardians Facebook page, and I'd love to see them do it. Like, I'm hoping that the Guardians somehow have audio of him announcing Jose Ramirez, and just every time that Jose bats, play it, like, and just that way he can always just announce him for as long as Jose has at bats at the Progressive Field. I think that would be a nice little tribute. And I even saw his son had put that out there too, so that he would love to see that. So hopefully the Guardians are smart and can pull something like that together. But sometimes the Guardians PR staff is not the smartest people, so we'll see.
It sounds like you strain when you say Progressive Field, because you know what it should be called.
I do. I want to call it the Jake. Yes, you're right.
Yes, indeed. On this show, it's the safe space. You can call it the Jake. That's how I always remember it. I can't call it Progressive.
I know.
And I mess up all the time calling them the Indians, even though they're the Guardians.
Yeah.
But it's all right on that part.
I still slip up every now and then. It's it's hard, especially if you're talking about, like, you talk about when Bob was doing most of the announcing, they were the Cleveland Indians, so it's okay. I mean, that's some of his best calls were introducing Baerga and
yes.
And Kipnis, and Omar Vizquel, he always had a good one for them too. And of course, that kept going with Jose. So, and Sundays they always have the kids announcing it, and he was always really good with working with the kids on their announcing. And I'll never forget, we were at one game with the Twins, and they always asked the player, "Who's your favorite player out there?" And he said Max Kepler, who was playing for the Twins. And he's like, "No, who's your favorite Guardian?" It's like, but the crowd just laughed because it's like, but because it's an instantaneous moment, and he played it off well. So,
KG, you got anything else with Matt?
That's all I had. I mean, this is a rough thing to pretty much go through, man. It's tough. But today's like been a really weird day altogether. So, you want to stick through the A block, Maddie?
No, I'll probably go ahead and go because I want to get back to watching this hockey game. But Anthony did bring up a little. If you want to bring up Anthony's little comment from the Marlins, so I can answer that. I'll take that because he's giving some shots from when the Indians blew that game to the Marlins. But no, because that game was actually in Florida, so he was not announcing that game because the game that Jose Mesa blew was down in Florida. So
this is boom boom.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, hey, it happened. Jose Mesa definitely blew that one. So, but that's a story of being a Cleveland Guardians Indians fan. 95, 97, and 2016. So close yet so far away.
16 is the worst.
It was. 16 was brutal. I still believe that it wasn't for the rain delay they win that game, but that's a whole different story for a different day.
Yeah, 16 was definitely the worst. Go ahead, KG.
Well, I just want to say thank you to Maddie. I mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming in and contributing with this.
I'm sorry. I'm being because we brought him in for this, but let's give him, because he's got a great idea, and I want him to say it on as many shows as he possibly can.
Oh, well, yeah.
the great idea that you have with Coach, where we're going from 6 to 8. Let's get that a little like let's put that out
Yeah.
early.
So it's going to be July 20th. So it'll be Monday, July 20th is when we're going to do this, because we'll be done with all the NHL stuff, and the Catlin Wedding Jamboree, the I Do Barbecue will be done. So we'll have everyone out of town. So July 20th is going to be the show, and it's something actually. In fairness, when the gentleman Jack and I had talked about doing, but we never got it off the ground. And then I'm like, wait a second, Coach has all these high school coaches on his show. I know enough officials from the other sports, so we're going to have together. It's going to be, hopefully we can get 8 people on the panel. I haven't even looked to make sure if we can get 8 on here or not.
Get up to 10.
Yep. Okay, good. So we're going to have 4 coaches, 4 officials, and we're going to talk about 3 or 4 different subjects. The first one is going to be how coaches and officials can build better rapport. And this is going to be all on the youth level, because that's what I do, and that's what matters right now most than anything. So how can we do better about building rapport between the two? Then part 2 of it is, how do both sides deal with parents getting more and more aggressive towards coaching and towards officials, which is ultimately leading to part 3. Like, if you don't know, most youth sports have a tremendous decline in the number of people officiating, so much so where it puts a lot of these sports in jeopardy year in, year out, of will they have enough officials to work all these games. And more and more parents are wanting their kiddies to play travel sports, which means you need more and more officials. So that's going to be part 3 of this, is how coaches can do a better job of keeping officials in the game, so you have the games. And there'll be some things that we'll go over and all that. So it's going to be, if you got anyone involved in youth sports, I think it's going to be a great show to maybe open up some people's eyes and help to bridge that gap of the need for officials, and then how to work with officials. So it's going to be good.
All right, sounds good, man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Appreciate you, man. And Perry said, dope concept, Matty.
Thank you. Well, it's me and Coach Devon, because we're doing it together. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be hopefully, I think it's going to be a good 2-hour show, and everyone, I think both sides will hopefully learn a little bit from each side, which I think is always important, and the most important thing then is too. And hopefully coaches and officials can watch the show. We'll gain a little bit more respect for each other on whatever field or ice you're on, and then most importantly, have the parents do that, because I think the parents are the biggest problem right now.
Totally agree.
As Midnight Rider knows, I am not afraid to throw out a parent from a hockey game.
Hey, question though. Yesterday, Showtime. She wouldn't hate nothing. I saw you throw them up, and she was giving you the Dikembe. She was like, no.
I know. Like, I gave her layup after layup. I brought up the Yankees. I brought up the Dodgers. I brought up Aaron. I laid them right out there for her. So I know she's just getting done with exams and stuff. So I think that's the big thing. So she was a little bit off her game yesterday for sure. So we'll work on that for next time, because I couldn't lay them up any better for her. That's for sure.
Yeah, you was out here being Sherman Douglas to Stevie Thompson back in the days of Syracuse. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Hurley throwing it up to Grant Hill. I got them all. Trey Young to anybody in Atlanta. You was throwing them up. It was just like she just was rejecting it. All right.
Yep. Oh well.
Let me translate what I was saying to you. More like McDavid to
Draisaitl.
There we go.
Oh boy, not good news for Buffalo fans. Montreal just scored to make that game 2-1, and Buffalo's completely outplayed Montreal this first period. But they're out shooting them like 13-5, and now Montreal's got the lead.
But Montreal's been ultra aggressive. What was it? The other night they played. Montreal came out and just put it to them and was their aggressors. So I'm not
11 goals in 2 games. Nah, 2 more now.
I feel like the tide is turning a little bit in that series.
It is. It has.
All right, I'm sorry. We cut you too long.
We digress.
Well, Maddie, I will say this. Number 1, I appreciate you coming on. Number 2, I know you'll be in the comments giving us updates, because we got to talk NHL anyway. So I know you'll be dropping some corrections, and if you got any nuggets, please drop.
I will do that.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a good one.
All right,
you too.
Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Matty Ice from Drive Time right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, Mondays at 5.
Drive time.
That man, like, he challenging you.
What you talking about?
He challenging you. Maddie said, you know what? We're gonna challenge that undisputed hardest working man in podcasts. Look, don't be surprised. Look, you know what? Just so we can get something going, I'm gonna see if I can get Maddie to show up on the WrestleManiacs on a Saturday night. If I can get that to happen, it's gonna be like Foreman versus Ali, Rumble in the Jungle. Let's go.
You crazy, dog.
Oh man, but hey, when you love what you do, man, it's not even work. It's just all about having fun. That's what it is.
Tell people that all the time, man. When the light comes on, it's a whole different person, man.
You know something funny? I'm gonna tell you this real quick before we move on. I used your philosophy on Saturday. I got, like, right before I'm watching Backlash and got a little gut punch. And, you know, I was already feeling down and had a funeral to attend on Saturday morning, feeling down, and I'm trying to watch Backlash to pull myself up. And I got pushed down again. But when that light came on right after Backlash, about 8:55, my mind was a million miles away because I was focused on talking about Backlash. And that light came on, and I was like, I'm good. So,
hey, man.
I use your philosophy an awful lot. So,
nah, this is our, to be honest with you, man, this is our therapy sometimes, man. People think we do it. I mean, we love sports, but we also do it sometimes just to escape, just like what sports are. Sports are the great escape from the sad things that happen in life and that we deal with. And it's even ironic that we're talking about it right now because we still only 2 people into the rest in peace category of tonight, and we've got a couple more to go.
Yep. So we're gonna switch over to the NBA. Rest in peace. The NBA family has lost 2 today. Brandon Clark of the Memphis Grizzlies passed away. I don't want to speculate. I see, Anthony, I seen your comment. I don't want to speculate because there's nothing official, so I don't want to put that on his jacket. But he was found unresponsive out in Los Angeles today. 29 years old. He's a puppy. He's a baby, man. 2019 first round pick, 21st overall in the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was NBA All Rookie First Team in 2020. He, if I'm not mistaken, they say he is the longest tenured Grizzly.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. From British Columbia, started his college career at San Jose State, went to Gonzaga, and wound up playing himself into a first-round pick. He was out majority of this season with a bad calf injury. He's supposed to have surgery and come back, but he was out on injured reserve. Had hoped to play for the Canadian national team in the future. So, a man of the people. He spent his 29th birthday giving back to the community. He visited Kip Collegiate Elementary School and surprised a classroom of second graders with a $1,500 donation to support literacy awareness, books, and resources. And then he added another $2,000 to the total for a rise to read. Like, when I tell you a man of the people, a man of the people. Young kid gone too soon, man.
Just one of them stories where you worry about the dynamics, man. I always tell people, you know, we look at these kids and, you know, we see them as athletes and they are doing something they love, but sometimes they don't know how to handle when it's not there, when it's taken from them, you know, and like, we got to think about that sometimes. Like, there's a high, there's this thing in our bodies. And I always tell people the most addictive drug isn't cocaine, it's fame. Fame will make you do some things that you don't you would never do because you feel invincible. You feel like, you deserve to have this opportunity or do this, and nobody should be able to correct you. So when I look at like a kid like this, even when I look at the Brandon Ayuk situation, totally different, but I will get into that later on when we talk about that some, in the further weeks beyond this. But there's some mental things that you got to worry about, guys. And I think we say, oh, we got to worry about mental health, but sometimes it's just lip service. Sometimes you got to check on that person. And if you watching right now, you got a friend that you ain't called in a while, and you got concerns about them, call them. I tell you to pause this show right now because it's on YouTube. Pause us, call that friend, come back, hit play, and catch up. It's that important, especially if you know that friend deals with depression. Especially if you know that friend has lost a loved one. Especially if you know that person is going through something right now and they don't know their way out of what they're dealing with. Call them. Call them. Matty Ice says at the end of every one of his shows, hug somebody that you love. Well, you may not be able to hug them, but call them and let them know you're thinking about them. Because there's too many people in this world sometimes that feel like they're alone. They fighting this battle by themselves. And if you can't be a good wingman, you can't be a good side person, you can't be the Robin to their Batman and what they're going through. It's just a thing, man. Let's be better about that.
True indeed.
Sorry, I got preachy.
That's all right. You right where you need to be. You say what you needed to say. Anthony said, I'm going to use Mark as a perfect example. Jose Fernandez has already been 5 years since his death, but the kid debuted at 17 and people expected to handle depression, not have issues. That goes back to his previous comment, which was KG. To me, what we forget is sometimes some of these kids are drafted at 18, 19 years old and we expect them to handle depression, expect them to not have breakdowns or drug problems, which is true. Absolutely true.
No, that's a great joint, man.
And he said that's the issue. There's still a stigma about men getting mental health checks and going to psychologists. If we do, we're looked at as weak. We're expected to push our emotions down. Yeah, you're expected to always be on the up and up. And my mother hates when I say it. When she asked me what's wrong, I got work to do. Well, you got to do this, man. Look, I got a family to feed. Ain't nobody coming to save me. And she hates when I say that. And I tell her all the time, nobody's coming to save me. I am the Calvary. I'm here to save everybody else. I'm not worried about me getting saved. She hates it. She hates when I say
the red coats ain't coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when I tell you she can't stand it, I mean she can't stand it. Lee Ice commented, going back to Craig Morton. He said, my first memory of Craig Morton as a little boy was seeing him wearing number 7 and saying, why is he wearing Joe Theismann's number?
That's crazy. I love that. But that shows you how we are sometimes so locked into our teams that we don't even pay attention to, like, and I think he predated Joe, if memory serves me correctly. So that's even crazier. Yes. Go ahead. Let's get to this next one, man, because this dude right here, and if you don't mind, I'll start this one.
Jason Collins,
man. This guy he went to Stanford. I think he's the first openly gay player to be in the league, and people took their shots and their pot shots at him, but he was brave enough to do it, and I think he had passed away because of cancer. I don't know what I know the term is gastrophominal, but I don't know exactly what that is. I'm guessing that's probably something in the inside, maybe somewhere in the part of a body. So I'm gonna leave that alone because I'm not a doctor. I leave sprains, strains, and tears to KG. So I'm not the aficionado when it comes to the words that are used in the jargon that is medical reports. But yeah. So just the situation where we often don't know what everybody deals with. We don't know their struggle. We don't know their pain. But this young man was dealing with something, and time told him that it was time. So you know, we appreciate his
But
bravery. We appreciate him being earnest enough and believing enough in what was going on in his life that he could speak his truth. Because not everybody gets the opportunity to speak their truth and say how they feel and say who they are. But when he walks away from this earth, everyone will know who he was and what kind of man he was. And hopefully they understand that, yeah.
what's what's people don't really remember is when he signed a 10-day contract with Brooklyn. He wore the number 98, and he had the best selling jersey on the online store. I
Yeah.
remember him here in DC, and I was like, this is the cat you need. You need somebody that's solid. Now, one thing you not going to take from him, I don't care about nothing about his personal life. And I said this when he came out. Him, John Amici, I was like, I don't care nothing about your personal life. When you're productive on that floor, I'm going to be a fan of you regardless. What you do in your personal time is your thing. I'm a basketball fan, and these are two guys that I actually enjoyed. Amici was one of my guys anyway when he played in Orlando. But when Jason Collins was here in DC, I was like, you got to re-sign him. You got to re-sign him. The Wizards don't re-sign him. They don't have a quality big man. They got to re-sign him. They got to re-sign him. And they let him get away and go to Brooklyn. That pissed me off. We'll talk about the Wiz kids and / Bullets later on, but he was a Pac-10 legend at Stanford. Him and his brother were two of those players that you talk about when you talk about Pac-10 basketball at Stanford. First round, 18th overall pick by the Houston Rockets. Had a 13-year career. Played with the Brooklyn Nets and New Jersey Nets, the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves, the Hawks, the Celtics, and the Wiz Kids. And he was only 47 years old. 47. So, rest in peace to Jason Collins. Like that's when I tell you that's a heavy first block.
Yeah, man.
Heavy first. Anthony said, KG, and I had to thank you guys. Actually, you guys have pulled me through some rough patches over the last few months. I lost 2 friends in the military overseas because of roadside bombs.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna say this to you, Anthony. You don't know. There are times that sometimes we have to limit your responses just because we're trying to stay on point and on topic. But there's one thing we always do is we always appreciate you being here and you reaching out to us. And if there's anything you can do, even if you want to even come on the show, we try to work it out and we get you in on the show. But it's one night, but you got to stay on topic. But nah, man, we love the interaction with you, brother. I hope you took the Q and Anthony as something respectful, because I appreciate your questions, because you don't. Sometimes you go off into a place where like I just don't have the answer for it. But there are other times where we can talk, man, and we appreciate everything you bring to the table with us, and we can't be better without people like you. So I hope you understand that from us to you, for you even saying that, we appreciate the words coming from your mouth, and giving us and allowing us to have the responsibility to help you with your movement. There's a line, and I always say this to people, that it comes from the great Sidney Poitier talking to Jamie Foxx. after he won the Oscar. He told him, "I give you responsibility." And when you say that to us, I feel like you give us responsibility to make sure that we give you the best of us night in and night out whenever we do a show. And we are here entertaining and giving you our best effort because you deserve that. I don't know what else you want to add to that, KG, but it's on you, bro.
I got nothing else to add to him. Perry say, even as a Heat fan. Even as a Heat fan. But we're going to take a break, come back, reset, and then we're going to dig into the rest of this show. And trash Heat fan. Oh, man. We're going to dig into the rest of the show.
Course, baby. What are we coming back to? I already know what the commercial is. Just what are we coming back to?
I mean, you got to guess what the commercial is, but you want to go NHL when we come back, you want to go NBA.
Let's knock NHL real quick out of the box, and then let's go into the NBA because
we'll come back, do NHL, then we'll go to NBA. Well, no, we got to go Olivia Miles, then NHL. So let's do that. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the only commercial that gets played during any of our shows. If Sports Center had a stat, they'd probably say that the last 9 out of 10 commercials have been brought to you by the Sideline Junkies WrestleManiacs. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? You love what you love. You love what you do. I get it. Here we are, Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It's a Tuesday night flight. Coming back, we're gonna talk a real quick NHL. We gotta talk Olivia Miles first.
You gotta talk Olivia Miles. This is all on you. I'm passing the ball to you and letting you bring it up the court.
Nah, this is my lady, man. I keep telling people, they talked about a stat. It was something this week that they talked about Azzy Fudd only having like 2 shots or 3 shots in her debut, and then they pulled up Olivia Miles stats. I think she had like 21 points. I think 6 boards, 2 steals, 2 assists. And I keep telling people all the time, she is stat stuffer. I'm saying she's gonna be out there. And I think I was listening to somebody in the podcast land, and I don't remember the exact podcaster, so I apologize for not giving you credit for your words. But he said the difference is Olivia Miles went to the perfect situation, not the better team. And that in the words of Matty Ice, that's a chef kiss. That's the perfect way to say it. Olivia Miles went to a place where she could be the top dog and the big dog right away. Azzy Fudd goes to a place where there's Paige Buckers, Anike, like they got a bunch of guards and wings, so she's just part of the mix. So she doesn't get a chance to shine like everybody else is going to shine. You know what I'm saying? In the words of, what's that great song? I shine, you shine. Yeah, something like that. I know I can't think of the rest of the lyrics, but it's all good. But yeah, she is not in the best situation. So I think, unfortunately, my girl is going to be in the best spot, Olivia Miles, to win Rookie of the Year. because she has the opportunity and she has the shot opportunity. And the floor is spaced out to where she has to be the lead dog. So yeah, I hey, if you haven't booked it yet, I think there's one bet I'm kind of secure on is I think Olivia Miles is the WNBA Rookie of the Year.
I got nothing to say because I think she is. She keep playing like this. Perry said, "Did you see how many scores when the 90s, the 100 this weekend, the ladies played like they got paid?"
That was good.
And he said Olivia went to both. The Lynx had the best record last season, and Collier is still out with injury. I forgot about Nafisha Collier. Yeah, she is with the Lynx. You can't hate on it, man.
Huh?
You can't hate on it because, and everybody's saying maybe she should have been a number one pick. No, she's right where she needs to be.
No, she in the right spot. She's sitting there and she can move things around. And then I saw where for the Mystics, Georgia Moore, I think she had 7 assists in their first game or the second game. I can't remember what game we were on for the Mystics. And then Rory, young lady from Texas, came in. She gave them 4 assists. You know what I'm saying? Like they got opportunities here, man. These teams with the front line of if they can get Betts to play a little bit better, the miss is gonna be a problem or could be a problem. You know, that's why we got 43 games. So Betts can work out what she needs to work out. You know, I got our girl Kiki, you know, she can do her thing. Centron, like the Mystics could be a problem. They got enough weapons, they got enough pieces where they could be something, make you feel like you're not with the one you want to be with, and don't make them, you know, choose your heart. And even though you want the girl, so the best thing is for us to be apart. Yeah, this is gonna be crazy, man. The Aces are nowhere near their max. Like they're like we're so early that like this could be crazy.
And Perry said they got the number 2 pick because the Sky imbeciles.
Well, I mean, I think Perry has expressed his dislike for the Sky all season. He hasn't been shot at all.
All right. Switching gears real quick. We got the NHL playoff update. From Sunday, the Canadiens beat the Sabres 6-2 to take a 2-1 series lead there. The Ducks win 4-3 over the Golden Knights to tie the series to 2. Then yesterday we had the Avalanche versus the Wild. Avalanche 5, Wild 2. Avalanche go up 3-1. And as of right now, in progress in the second period, the Canadiens are up 2-1 over the Sabres, and the Golden Knights and the Ducks play tonight at 9:30. Anything you got to add there?
Oh no, only thing I want to add is just I think that I think Colorado series got extended just because I think the other team they had to win something. Like they had to do the Denzel. We leaving here with something. You know what I'm saying? The Hurricanes just destroyed their opponents, Philly and Ottawa. We get to who am I missing? Buffalo and Montreal. So Sunday night when I watched Montreal play against Buffalo, I felt like the tide shifted. Because I think they've been on 5-2 or something like that, something similar. And I think that's going to be a problem for Buffalo. I don't know if Buffalo is going to recover from that because I think they got dominated and they didn't like how they got dominated. So that's going to be very interesting to me to see how that gets resolved or how that gets handled. What's the other series left? Buffalo, Montreal. We talked about Montreal taking over the lead. The Anaheim and Vegas. I think Anaheim is in the catbird seat right now with that one. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Vegas can come back or make themselves relevant and the rest of the way.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this present point on the Tuesday night flight, I want you to go ahead and put your trays up, put your seats in the upright and locked position. Make sure when the seatbelt light comes on, you put your seatbelt on. Hold on tight, because we doing some NBA playoffs and we're going to go through some things that need to be talked about during the NBA playoff. And there's a couple of things that we're going to stop on. First and foremost, before we get into series and things like that, since we're a DC-based show, the Wizards get the number 1 pick in the lottery. I wanted to say something.
Go ahead, say something.
I said in our chat that I hope they don't screw the pooch, and Perry was like, "Yeah, it's a no-brainer." And I gotta give some flowers to Perry here, because I always talk about these two gentlemen, the Professor Lucky and my man Big Ed. When I was younger, we all worked together. I would say things, and they would get on me. Nah, man, it'd be a little bit rougher, but they get on you like big brothers do. And you kind of change your mode of thinking. And I was telling Perry, I was like, even just being on the outside looking in, you got PTSD from the Wizards, just like messing everything up. They always mess stuff up. Like, we're talking from, I was born in 81, and here it is 2026. And I don't know, the Wizards, they didn't make the playoffs in the 80s. When they finally made the playoffs in the 90s, they made it in the 80s.
They made it in 80. I want to say either 86 or 87. They were out.
Was that the Bernard King?
They were out.
Bernard King, Moses Malone.
Yeah. They were out in 5 because I actually went to one of the playoff games.
Wow.
So I think we went to game 2 or no, we had to go to game 3 because Detroit was the 1 seed. So we went to game 3. So I got to see game 3. Yeah.
Now let me just give me a little lateral movement here. I'm gonna hit you with a little lateral movement. So this is why I say the PTSD is there, and then I'm gonna show you why I'm giving the flowers to Perry. Now, me, I'm a Bulls fan, but I still follow the Wizards because I live here, and a lot of my friends are Wizards fans. Okay, you had that Bernard King, Moses Malone, Jeff Malone. You had those teams. Mm-hmm. You didn't cultivate those teams. You didn't bring Bernard King back. Well, he was hurt. Bernard King still gave you 28 a game. Moses still giving you 22 and 10. You still had something going on that you could have just ran with to put you over the hump. You didn't do it. So you have the dark days of Never Nervous Purvis and that crew in the early 90s. Then you get Juwan Howard, you get Chris Webber. You wound up you trade Rasheed Wallace, and you get back Rod Strickland. You got Tracy Murray, Calbert Chaney. 96, 97, you got a pretty good team. That's the AC that won 44 games. Made it on the last day when they beat Cleveland. Great. But you take that team that just was missing 2 or 3 pieces. You don't cultivate it. You break it up. It never goes. Then you have this period of darkness. Then MJ comes in. He can't lift them up as the GM because he picked Kwame Brown, which wasn't a bad pick, but Kwame didn't have a mindset that he needed here. You look at the Gilbert Arenas. No, I'm sorry. Back that up. That was Antoine Jameson, Gilbert Arenas, and Caron Butler.
Yeah,
the big three Wizards. That was the most exciting I had ever seen DC about the Wizards ever. They found a way to mess that up. They found a way not to get over the hump. I mean, granted, they did get cheated one year with the crab dribble. I'll give you that. But they never got over the hump. Then you have the John Wall, Bradley Beal Wizards. And they were just like, I remember it was one year, and we sat here on this very show, on this very network, before it was truly a network. And I said the Wizards should win 60 games this year. I think they finished at 58. They had 5 chances to win 60 and lost all 5.
No. You will not do that.
What do you mean?
They finished at 48.
No, I'm sorry. They were supposed to win 50. I'm sorry. I apologize. They were supposed to win 50. I was like, they were supposed to win 50. I'm sorry. 60 was enough. That was something else. That was a prediction from a couple of years ago. And they only won 47. I was like, you sons of bitches.
Yeah, you out there wishing on memory.
But they had 5 chances to win 50. All you needed to do was win 2 games. You lost all 5. You had the Bubble Wizards and Bradley Beal being the guy with the green light. You damn near led the league in scoring. You decided, oh, no, I'm going to rest my shoulder. I'm not going to participate in the bubble. Are you serious?
Okay.
This is what I say when I say you have PTSD, because the Wizards have found a way to let their fan base down every chance they've gotten. And Perry was like, you got to let that PTSD go. And he brought up a good point. He said, I'm a Knicks fan. And once he said that, I was like, damn, he right. He right. I mean, you had your runs, but he right. So I got to give Perry his flowers because he put it all in perspective, man. You got to look at it like this. You got to let that PTSD go, because the front office of today ain't the front office from 6 years ago, 5 years ago. So, you know, it's no guarantee that they blow this number 1 overall pick, because even if you do, the talk is trading to the second pick and picking what's the cat that they want picking number 2? AJ's gonna go number 1. Who's number 2?
It's either Peterson or Caleb Wilson.
Okay, there's you can't. I think it's what the first 4 or 5 picks are just pretty much locks. You can't go wrong with any of them.
I think you can get to 6 to 7 with solid basketball players.
Well,
but I would never trade. I wouldn't trade from 1 to 6. I wouldn't trade from 1 to 7. The most I'd trade is from 1 to 3. Because I want that transitional superstar.
And that's what Andy said. There's also reports the Wizards might trade out number 1 to get more capital. I heard that too. And he said,
but there's a reason. But the problem is the Wizards fans are being too crazy with their trade proposition. They're like, oh, we're gonna move down 1 spot, but they're gonna give us Ace Bailey and another pick. That's not happening. That's not happening. You can kiss the baby on Ace Bailey and a pick. So
he said, why is Perry attacking me for no reason? At least my team has won a championship in this century. It's a rivalry, baby. He said New York hasn't won a championship since color TV came in the stores for the first time.
Yes, sir.
They better stay at number 1 and pick AJ. But we'll discuss that further on Nothing But Net. And when can you see that, Perry? Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network.
7:30.
Now, speaking of the Knicks win on Sunday, 144 to 114 over the 76ers. Go ahead and bring out the brooms. They sweep the Sixers. Now, I don't know if you saw this. I don't know if Perry saw it. But Joel Embiid and his post-game presser was like, I feel like this was a success. We did what we came to do. And when I saw it, I thought it was AI. But then I researched, he really said that. He said this was his, I don't see it as a failure. I see it as a success. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm just going to say it. I finally realized that he's a bigger loser than what I thought.
Well, that's not.
If you feel that going out in the second round is a success, or just beating Boston is a success, The success is to get your team over the hump. You talk about you being the process and trust the process. Bro, you haven't been out of the daggone conference semis your entire career. You barely get out of the first round.
So
you spend more time flopping on the floor than you do scoring buckets. This is loser talk. Loser talk.
You're teeing up the breaking news any better than I ever thought you could. So breaking news from the Athletic. As of hold on. I don't know why that came up. As about an hour ago, Daryl Morey is out as the Sixers GM, and they are handing over that role. And it's ironic. This is irony working its way. What's the dude from Golden State? Bob
Myers.
Bob Myers is now the new GM or president role for the 76ers. And if we all remember correctly, Bob Myers was used in the Washington Commanders' search for a head coach as the liaison.
Yep.
Your GM search. So there's a relationship that gets transformed and transpired into something more because two people found common ground and now they're operating as one. I'm trying to get the 76ers, what's the word I'm going to use? Back in stride again.
Oh man, damn it, I ain't got it no more. Nah, I haven't seen Norris posted the broom yet, but oh my goodness. And see, that's good for Philadelphia because maybe if you get somebody that's a proven winner in the front office, maybe their players will act like proven winners.
No, I think so. No disrespect to Philly. Philly got the biggest. They got jobbed the most by the guy that I felt like I'll never forget. I sat here in this space and I watched Ben Simmons. Actually, I probably wasn't here yet. I might have been over in Bona Vista. And I watched Ben Simmons and his little LSU thing. And when I watched him, I said to myself, this guy has no dedication to the process. I said he's going to quit at the first sign of adversity. The first time is a struggle because he complained the whole time about having to take classes. I'm like, dog, all you got to do is just do enough to get C's, you know what I'm saying, to January. Ain't nobody checking your joint after January. Just do enough. And if you can't do enough for that, then you don't want to be in this league. You don't want to be here. And then I'd never forget, he went to like a LSU game, and I guess people had his jersey or had his stuff on, and he was crying about that. And I was just like, yo, he's not a winner. And then like he moved all his family from Australia. It was just a whole bunch of I just kept seeing red flag, red flag, red flag. And I even think we came on the show and we did a show together. And I told you, I don't like Ben Simmons.
The way you feel about Ben Simmons, I feel that way about Joel Embiid.
Or somebody, who was it? It wasn't D-Wade. Maybe it was Tracy McGrady. No, it was KG. Kevin Garnett was like, and I said this to you before, but when you're big and you fall to the ground, you falling with all that weight. You're not supposed to hit the ground as much as he hits the ground. And that's his problem, is he hits the ground too much.
Exactly.
And KG was like, yo, he hits the ground like 2 or 3 times a quarter. And I'm like, yeah.
Pretty soon they're gonna start taking prop bets on that.
Like it's just not the same. It's like You know, like even D Wade and AI understood at a certain point, you can't hit the ground that much to last in this league. Because when you keep hitting the ground, that's taking years. I say it this way: it's taking months, and those months become years. I'll say it that way. So I don't know, man.
That post game press conference, and that's loser talk, and you sound like a loser. You to quote Doc Walker, Joel Embiid is a classic case of holding talent hostage. Because we've never seen him at his full potential, and his full potential far exceeds anything that anybody thinks his ceiling is. Because the dude is talented as fuck, but we never see him at full potential. Why? It's not the injuries. You'll see him do something, and if he doesn't get a call, he's sitting up there jumping up and down, stomping, throwing a tantrum. Dog, play ball. Like sometimes I really feel like a lot of these players in the NBA. And I don't mean to go off on a tangent. I'm going to say this and I'm going to move on. A lot of these players in the NBA, they ain't never played basketball with a milk carton tacked to a telephone pole. And you got a piece of plywood as your backboard.
Okay.
Y'all ain't never played basketball in the backyard with a bucket sitting on a stool and you playing with a tennis ball.
You ain't played in a situation where if you get off the court, you got to wait 5 necks to get back on the court. That's the dog times. That's the doldrums of hooping. You know, right now, if you lose, you either going home or you gotta wait 4 games, and it's not gonna be till like 6 o'clock till the next time you play. And it's 2 right now. Where's your reality?
So Perry said, Bob Myers makes sense. The Sixers and the Commanders had the same owner. I like that pick. And he also said they should not be in the Capital game. Gave that up when they traded for Trey, talking about the Wizards. Anthony feels that the NBA screwed Miami. They should have gave Miami the 2 picks, and Charlotte had because Charlotte knew that Scary Terry was going to be involved in this gambling investigation by the FBI. Oh, that's talking about the trade.
Yeah, we don't do that. Excuse me.
Next up, go ahead.
Excuse me. No, I'm just sneezing. I'm my bad. Okay. I couldn't get to the
mute button. You had the same thing I had. Next up, from Sunday, the Timberwolves 114, the Spurs 109. Wemby got injected in that game early. Did you feel like that was a viable flagrant 2 ejection?
Yeah, but I thought he didn't deserve a suspension because he doesn't have a history of being that type of player. So, and also he the money. In the words of what's my man's name? What's that podcast with Darren Bates and all them? They said you can't fuck with the money. So in this situation, excuse my language, but you can't mess with the money. And the money is Victor Wembanyama. So we're not suspending him for a game because he elbowed Nas Reed. We talking about Nas Reed. We ain't not. Here we go. Knicks Heat, baby. Knicks Heat. We got a rivalry.
Blah, blah, blah. Next up, and that series is tied at 2-2. The Spurs Timberwolves, they are in action tonight. The Spurs are up 34-30 at the beginning of the second quarter. Next up, series tied at 2-2 was the Cavaliers and Pistons, 112-103 in favor of the Cavaliers. Any thoughts on that series?
112 is what the players dwell. I think Harden has played better as the series has gone along, but they're also at home. So this feels like one of them series where home and home, and if you keep it going home and home, Detroit wins this in 7.
Agreed. That is next one. This next one. I think I have to preface it. Let me see if I can get this right and preface it with this one.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. In the words of the great Nick Van Exel, Cancun on 3. There's Jaylen Brown. There's my guy Timothy Watkins. There's Jason Tatum. There's me, because I don't know what AI was doing with me, and I'm not going back and forth with them to figure out that picture. And it's LeBron James. LeBron James. We in Cancun, baby. I don't know how we got there so fast. Maybe we got a PJ out of LA to Cancun, but yeah. And I told Tim if we got swept, I'm a man of my word. I was gonna post this picture because he asked me to. And I knew I did him. I knew I was, yeah, I know I was talking trash when they lost. So there you go, Tim. Your picture, Cancun, and us. Now,
I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there. The Lakers lose this game 115 to 110. Lose the series 4-0. How the blue fuck do you have two chances? You're down. I think the score was 111 to 110. Lakers had the ball. LeBron misses the lay. They go back down. Thunder score, make it 113 to 110. Austin Reeves comes down. It's like they just come down. It's like no half court set. You got enough time to set up something to get you a open look. And it's like they're just playing schoolyard bullshit. I got the ball, so I'm not passing anybody. I'm just going to shoot. I don't understand the coaching when it came down to the wire. Maybe you can explain that to me. Being a coach yourself, being a Laker fan, what in the blue fuck was JJ Redick thinking?
no, it's not. I see the funny thing is I don't even blame the coach in the situation. I blame the players, man. I mean, like these guys take the decision and make the decision to take these shots at these times, in this space and in these opportunities. I just think it was bad basketball, to be honest with you, KG. I mean, I can't explain what doesn't make sense. You know, there's a reason why the lion doesn't argue or shouldn't argue with the monkey about who's the real king of the jungle. Because the lion knows. And why interest yourself in foolish conversations? It's like somebody saying the grass is blue and you telling them grass is green and they want to argue with you. Don't waste time on the fool.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. Now I'm gonna ask you a series of questions, so I'm just gonna throw them at you.
Oh, you've been waiting for this all day.
Yeah, I have been. I really have.
Yeah.
This one right here it's a pot shot. So with the Lakers losing in the conference semifinals, not the finals, the semifinals, 4-0 under Darvin Ham, they made the Western Conference Finals. So Darvin Ham really wasn't the problem, huh?
I'm taking that side because I really wanted to say some things that aren't good on this network. No, the problem it's not about Darvin Ham and his coaching ability. It's the fact that this team lacks talent. So unfortunately, Darvin Ham was the benefactor of a younger LeBron and a team that had more talent or was better situated around LeBron. So it's not Darvin Ham being a better coach, because if he was a better coach, he'd still be coaching somewhere. But he's probably going to get in the job in this next cycle because they need somebody to take some losses. But going beyond that, the problem that I have, and I'm glad you tried to, you did this way, because I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're flickering with the pilot light. So, but no, I mean, that doesn't mean Darvin Ham's a better coach. So I'm gonna leave it at that. What's your next question?
Well, my next question, I got note card. What's next for LBJ and the Lakers?
Well, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take LBJ, we're gonna take Bronny, we're gonna take Martin talking about Mike Lowry's mommy's titties. And we gonna put them in a box, and we're gonna throw that out in the ocean so far and so deep that only Jacques Cousteau can go get them motherfuckers. Excuse my language.
Well, now we can't really look at personnel, but it was some things that were said.
No, let's look at personnel because we have one of the worst personnel situations there is. Like we got, for some reason, we went and got DeAndre Ayton, and I don't know what his contract situation is, but we got the only big man that averages like 5 rebounds a ball game, and for some reason somebody felt the inclination to play him. The kid, what's his name? Dalton Connect.
Mm-hmm.
So explain this to me, KG. You are the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, but you got a kid on your bench who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the NCAA, but you don't find a way to play him because whatever the situation is. So instead of us getting better from shooting from 3, we're gonna let just Dalton Connect sit on the bench, or we're gonna offer him in every trade situation that we can. So make that make sense.
I can't make it make sense because I'm looking at this roster. And Ayton, by the way, he's averaged double-figure rebounds every year before this year. He only averaged 8 this year. You have Ayton, Luka, Hachimura, Jackson Hayes, Bronny James, LeBron.
Why are we wasting the roster spot on Bronny James? What are we doing? This isn't the place where everybody gets a participation trophy. If you don't think the kid can play, let him be. Let him go. Let him sit somewhere else. He could go to, I don't even know what the LA Lakers G League team is, but sit on the G League and sit on the bench or play for them.
But he went down to G League. He went down to G League, and I think he averaged 25 points a game.
Well, let him stay there.
Okay, hold on.
Let him stay there. He is not right now for a team. Here's what I'm gonna say to you. For a team that has championship aspirations, he is not a rotational piece.
I'm gonna say this.
He should get 2 minutes. Well, if there's a 20-point blowout or a 40-point blowout, and we clear the bench, that's when he plays. He can't give you nothing. You can't win with him. You can't do it. You won't do it, and you shouldn't do it.
This is where things have to change. The worst thing that happened to Bronny James wasn't getting drafted in the second round. The worst thing that happened to him was going to the Lakers. If he went somewhere like in Orlando, somewhere like a Detroit, somewhere that's known for developing players, you have to, and I had to learn this with my own child. Because when we used to go to
no. Everything must change. George Benson.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Seasons find a way to change. And unfortunately for this kid, it's just not there. He's not getting us to the next level. I don't care what he can do. I don't care what he can do. He can carry a note. But I don't need Jermaine Jackson. I don't need Randy Jackson. I need somebody that's going to be able to carry a note. I need somebody to be Otis. It ain't nothing you can explain. He stinks.
Come on, let me explain. Just pull my coat and follow me. Okay. If he goes anywhere else, he's not playing with his dad. This is something that I learned my own child. When he was 16 and he was dominating his friends, okay, you going to the gym with me. But one thing that couldn't happen, and it was a rule, he could never play on the same team as me. Because if he played on the same team as me, it was me coddling him and moving him around and no, go over there. No, he had to get caught in the mix. He had to get caught in the switches because he had to have the wherewithal to know, okay, it's a pick coming. This dude's a shooter. Do I go under or do I go over? I need to go over because he's a shooter. When he's running, trying to catch somebody, do I reach here or do I reach here? It's like you have to, when you're playing with your own child, when you're playing with your parent on the same team, it's a different feel. You have to go somewhere and spread your wings. I guarantee you, if he goes someplace else and he develops, he is going to be a PT peer in the NBA. I'm not saying he's going to be Dylan Harper, but he's going to at least give you 15 and 5.
He could be true and spread his wings all he wants, but he's going to end up wishing on a star, trying to follow who you are, because I don't see it. I've yet to watch a play in the NBA where when I look at Bronny, I say, oh, he belongs. Oh, he should be here. So because of that, I just don't see it yet. And I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times in many places. I've eaten crow a lot of situations, but we are the Los Angeles Lakers. We aren't the Charlotte Hornets. We aren't, no offense, bro. We aren't the Chicago Bulls. We are the Detroit Pistons. We are the pinnacle. We are 17-time NBA Finals champions. We should have a better standard in place. We should have a better future in place. But because of Rob Pelinka, because of Jeannie Buss, we have nothing going forward. We pinning our hopes on Austin Reeves. As much as I love Austin Reeves, but he can't be the guy that I'm pinning my hopes on, and I'm giving him $40 million. He can't be my Jesus. He can't be the savior of our program. It just doesn't work. At best, he's Thomas. And I don't mean to get biblical, but I'm just saying, it's just, I can't, we should be in a better place. We are the LA Lakers. I shouldn't have, when I think of my front office, I shouldn't have the Barnum Bailey theme song in my head. Because that's what we are. We're a circus. We have nothing built up. We have no draft assets. We up against the cap. We got to let LeBron leave because that's the only way we're going to have money next year. And then they talking about trading for Giannis. Why are you trading for Giannis? So we need another ball dominant guy? So we need another guy that's going to have the basketball in his hands. We got Luka. Now we got Giannis. What are we doing? What are we doing here?
JoJo said he sure wasn't when I asked the question, was Darvin Ham the problem? She said that's JJ Riddick. Ham would never.
Ham would never made it past.
Well,
yeah.
That's Levy call to have his son with him. It was. It's nepotism. Why it's why he's there. Just say it. And Bronny wasn't dominating. Remember, he was coming off the heart thing.
Yeah, he was coming off the heart thing, but still, and that's a lead into tomorrow because there's something with Bronny's thing and Peterson that I got a feeling on. I'm in my feels on, but let's go back. She said Bronny wasn't dominating college. What was the one before that?
It was nepotism.
All right, so we can't let's not get caught up in the nepotism thing because there's jokers out here that are playing in this league because of nepotism. They're the 14th guy on the bench. It didn't just start with Bron. It's just because Bron is the guy that's in the center of this whole thing. So let's not try to make that all on him. He's the pioneer of nepotism and kids getting chances because of who they are or whatever. Shoot, if it wasn't for nepotism, JB Bickerstaff and guys like that probably wouldn't be coaches. So let's not dance with the devil in the nepotism game. I'm sorry.
What's this next one? He should have stayed in college, then the G League. It's nepotism. Yeah, I think he should have stayed in college.
But how do you stay in college when you're when the guys that are supposed to protect you put you in harm's way? That's the only thing I've ever said about Bronny's career is the guys, and we see some of that with the stuff that came out about Peterson. Like, these are the guys that you trust to ensure your health with. These are your trainers, but all of a sudden your trainer is putting you in a bad spot. Like, we can't just wash over the fact that this dude had a heart condition or a heart situation, his freshman year. And you expect him to go back? You expect his dad to let him go back? You missed me with that one.
Yeah, we said that when it was said that he was going to enter the draft. We thought it was more for medical to get better medical coverage.
Yeah.
And better doctors and everything. Because you think about it, the doctors at USC ain't got nothing on the doctors that the Lakers got on payroll.
Exactly.
And right, JoJo said, go ahead.
No, I said I done took us too far off the beaten path. Let's just
go through the comments.
So I think we forgot one. I think we got one more game, and then whatever else is next. I think the Knicks beat the Sixers.
Yeah, we got that.
Okay.
That was up first. She said Luka's the savior. And who said it started with him? Come on now.
I got you.
It's nepotism. Why can't we say it?
I said we could say
it. Perry said nepotism. Can you say Bruce Pearl, Jerry Jones? Yeah. That's nepotism. So your trainers are all the problem. Shaking my head, okay.
Okay, so
and drink water for Peterson.
No, dog, y'all see, this is the part when sometimes when people take certain drugs, creatine or something like that, it's not about the water intake, it's because the drug doesn't mix with your body right. Like, everybody takes these, like, I've seen this before. What's the kid? I've seen guys like the kid from Baltimore. I think his name was Rocky something. That was a pitcher that took the Xenadrin, and he OD'd off the Xenadrin. Like, the problem is sometimes when you take these supplements, the supplements don't mix with your body the right way, and you just can't take everything over the counter, because the other thing is they aren't all sanctioned by the Food and Drug Administration. So you got to be careful. And just because one drug works for 8 kids, it may not mean it works for the 9th kid. I truly believe the creatine was a problem. I've heard guys say creatine caused them to cramp up. And this kid said a thing where the creatine had him ready to go to the hospital. I ain't risking that. I ain't risking going to the hospital. I don't care what you say.
Well, as somebody that used to take creatine, the original formula, never had a problem with cramps. It got the water weight off me very, very fast. It didn't dry me out to the point where I was like sick, because I knew I had to stay hydrated, but it got excess water weight off me. At the time I was weighing 209. I dropped down to 190. No, I dropped down to 189. But it gave me enough energy to get back in the gym, and I packed on almost 30 pounds of muscle, and I got up to 225.
But all I'm saying is we can't just be like, oh, he took the creatine, and that can't be a problem. Like, we don't know how these drugs, these things react. We don't even know what creatine he was taking. So, like, to just be like, oh, drink water, I just think that's reckless to a certain extent. And because we're working with a better group of trainers, maybe we say, all right, let's not take creatine. Let's put you on this. If that's what you're trying to do. Maybe give him a better option. The reason I say that, and I'll say this right now with no hesitation, I'll never forget. I went into a doctor's office. This was probably mid 2000s, maybe a little bit later than that. And I'll never forget when I walked in the doctor's office, the pharmaceutical sales chicks came in. She came in and she had a nice little blouse on, but them tatas was popping. and I was like, I don't know what she's selling, but no matter what I tell this joker, I'm gonna get a sample pack. I already know it. I knew it before I left. Needless to say, we talked, we sat there. I left my appointment. Guess what I walked away with? A dose of the sample pack that she came in with. I was like, nah, dog. I read the little, I forgot what it was, but I read the little pamphlet. I was like, what? Man, I'd rather just deal with the shit I'm dealing with than the possibility of more depression and diarrhea and all. Nah, I'm good, dog. And I say that because I'm not trying to be or make light of like the pharmaceutical part of it, but there's situations where people have holdups and we got relationships that you got to take care of first. And sometimes it's not always in the best interest of the patient. So that's why I say that. So that's why, JoJo, I say the trainers thing. I mean, we just had Bronny have a heart condition and end up in the hospital. We've had several situations where we had kids. Think about University of Maryland and the kid that passed away from their training program. Like, I'm not saying this frivolously. There are situations where we've had kids be in the hands of trainers in college, and the situation hasn't worked out on the kid's side.
We talk about it every spring, summer, and fall. These youngins dropping dead during training sessions and things like that. So yeah, you got to really be careful with that.
And then go back to your point, because you even talk about it all the time when you talk about the sprains, and all that stuff, and how the sprain led us to a bunch of guys that wear number 0, having Achilles tears. Like, there's things that we aren't, like, I don't know if we're paying attention to. So, like, that's the part for me. And maybe I'm on my soapbox and I'm out here like dust in the wind, but I believe everything I'm saying, because I think there's sometimes where sometimes you got to get a better opinion. You got to get a more experienced opinion. And you got to use a group that has better resources. That's all. Let's get out, man, because we're at 128.
Yep. So let's wrap that shit up, B. Thank you for joining us tonight. This has been started off heavy, but it's been a good show. I tell you that.
No, I love it, man. I love the interaction. We got JoJo back, so I know JoJo always gonna have something to come bring with her. I got Anthony. Yo, dog, you only understand. We as a group love you to death, bro. So we will mess with you, but remember that messing with you is all a sign of love. If you've been in the comments, we got Maddie Ice that jumped in with us. Who am I missing comment wise?
We had Perry.
Yeah, anybody else that was in the comments and I didn't mention your name, put it on the part of my like I'm having the memory at my age, and not because I'm trying to disrespect you, but we appreciate any opinions, any thoughts. And go ahead, KG. I'll let you take us out.
Well, all I'm gonna say is thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching, the continued viewership, everything, man. It's absolutely appreciated. And JoJo said, I'm not disagreeing with you, yet trainers can't control what you take, is my point. So,
but sometimes they prescribe it too. So that's the only reason I'm saying that, Joe.
So nothing but net tomorrow night, 7:30, taking you around the association 30 minutes with C. Perry II and this gentleman right here, the Midnight Rider. So until then, he's the Midnight Rider. I'm the big guy, KG. We don't do no overtime, y'all. We are out of here.